Well, welcome back. Since Mother's Day is this upcoming Sunday, I'm going to show you a few simple footprint crafts for a baby or toddler, or even yourself to do. First, I made a little bumblebee for my stepmom with the cheesy quote that says, "Nobody could ever be a better Nana than you." For this project, you'll need a piece of paper, yellow paint, a black marker, and the pencil and eraser are optional. I always use them to visualize where I want the words and accents to go on the project, since it is intended to be a Mother's Day card. I actually wish I would have made the upcoming rocket ship project on a folded piece of paper as well for the same reason. I wrote the quote on the left side of the card before drawing on the bee so I didn't have to overlap and potentially smear the black marker since I am right-handed. Once I wrote over the pencil with the marker, I moved on to the bumblebee. I drew on the wings in little heart shapes, added the antennas and smiley face, drew on the black stripes, and finished with the stinger and the little lines over to the word Nana. Next, I made a little butterfly craft for my grandma. For this project, you will need a piece of paper, whatever color you'd like for the butterfly, a paintbrush, markers coordinating to the color of the butterfly, and black for the butterfly body and antennas. For this project, I began visualizing all of the details by sketching with the pencil. I drew on the butterfly wings, the body, and the coily antennas. After that, I added the quote, "You make my heart flutter." I drew on "You make my heart" above the butterfly and "flutter" below. I lightly erased the lines so you wouldn't be able to see them through the marker. You may not be able to see it on the screen, but I was still able to see a little bit of it in person, so I traced over the body and part of the quote that I wanted black, since I knew I didn't want to have to place my hand over the wings after I traced, because I hate when I accidentally smudge it. It took me a few times to get the word flutter how I wanted it, and then when I was finished with that, I filled in the body black. And then I went back up to the A to fix it with some whiteout. I don't know what I had done here, it just smudged weird, so I had to adjust how I wrote it. Once it was all fixed, I cut it out a little whimsically to give it some character, and then this project was finished. The next project I worked on was a rocket ship footprint with the quote, "I love you to the moon and back." For this project, you'll need your preferred color for the footprint. I used a weird blue that I had already mixed for some previous projects. You'll need a piece of paper, a paintbrush, and colors for the spacecraft. I used brown and red, and then you'll need yellow or orange for the blast-off part. I started by drawing on the details and the quote with the pencil. I lightly erased the pencil so I could trace over with the marker. I wrote "I love you" as well as "and back" with red, and I wrote "to the moon" in brown and also in a different font. I ended up finding another red marker to draw over the initial one that I had used because I didn't prefer the original look. I had actually never heard this quote until I heard my wife and her family say it to each other, so I thought it would be a cute little project to make for my mother-in-law. Once that was finished, I used brown and red to outline some of the spacecraft details before using yellow to color the blast off. Once I had colored in with the yellow, I moved back to the red. I had no method to my madness at this point, I was just coloring what felt right. Once everything was finished, I used the red, brown, and yellow to make dots to fill in the empty surroundings of the paper. I also liked how unique this project felt for Mother's Day. Most projects you see for Mother's Day are butterflies, flowers, or cute bugs, but this one felt less feminine and more diverse. Now, the last project I made was another non-conventional Mother's Day project. This one is a footprint pear. I loved the idea of this because it was also weird and different. So for this project, you'll need a piece of paper, a paintbrush, green paint, and a green marker. I did Emmett's footprint on a green paper, so I was able to cut it out and make it stand out more on a white paper. You definitely don't have to do this. And then I drew on a stem and a leaf at the top. I drew on little green outlines to enhance the shape of the fruit. And then I paired this, see what I did there? With the quote, "My moms are perfect." Obviously, moms doesn't have to be plural. I just wrote it as such since Emmett does indeed have 2 moms. Once I wrote on the quote, I added tiny green hearts throughout the empty white on the paper. And then this project was finished. Thank you for joining me while I made some Mother's Day footprint crafts. I hope you were able to find some inspiration to craft with your kids, some kids you know or work with, or even make it for your own mom or spouse. I hope you have a happy Mother's Day, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye!